Scorpio, if you clicked on this video because you need to know if they are finally going to make a move, you are exactly where you need to be. This person is deeply, undeniably in love with you, and this August, the waiting is over. But here is the twist they haven't told you yet. They aren't just making a casual move. They are stepping up with a level of commitment that will completely shift your reality because they finally realized what it feels like to almost lose you. Before we dive into this profound shift, tell me in the comments where you are watching from, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with the universe to lock in this energy. Let's begin. Do not scroll past this. You were meant to hear this now, and this message is arriving at the exact right moment. I need you to stop, take a deep breath, and really absorb the weight of what is happening right now. The algorithm did not just randomly serve you this video. Your higher self, your intuition, the very spirit guides surrounding this specific person, orchestrated this exact collision. You didn't find this reading by accident. You were pulled here by an energetic tether that has been pulling tight between you and them for weeks, maybe even months. The universe is forcing you to look at this because the shift you have been praying for is no longer just a possibility, it is an absolute inevitability. Let's talk about your body, because your physical vessel has been keeping the score of this massive energetic shift. You have been feeling this strange, fluttering sensation in your chest, right over your heart center. It's not anxiety, though your logical mind tries to convince you it is. It's a physical confirmation. Your solar plexus is buzzing. You've been waking up abruptly between 3 and 4 in the morning, your mind racing, feeling sudden, unexplainable restlessness that you can't quite shake no matter how many times you change positions. You check your phone constantly. It's not out of obsessive habit, but because your intuition is screaming that a notification, message, sign is coming, your nervous system is vibrating on a completely different frequency. You feel an unusual emotional sensitivity lately. Small things trigger deep wells of emotion, and you feel a physical tension in your shoulders, your neck, and your jaw. It's as if your body is physically bracing for a massive release of pressure. You've been feeling a sudden warmth in your hands or a tingling in your ears when you think of them. These are not random physical glitches. These are the somatic markers of a timeline collapsing. The energy between you is moving so fast that your physical body is struggling to catch up to the spiritual reality. But here is where it gets deeper, because this physical restlessness isn't just about you waiting for them. It's about you subconsciously preparing for the magnitude of what they are about to bring into your life. You feel it in your bones, don't you? That quiet, undeniable knowing that the dynamic is about to completely flip. The waiting is ending, but the intensity of what is coming requires your body to prepare the container to hold it. And this preparation has been bleeding heavily into your subconscious mind. Look at your dreams lately. You've been having these vivid, cinematic flashes of this person. Maybe you dreamt of them standing in a doorway, looking at you with an expression you've never seen in waking life. Or maybe you had a sudden, intrusive memory of a specific conversation you had months ago. But in the dream, the context was completely different. They were saying the exact things you always wanted them to say. You are seeing repeated numbers, feeling sudden waves of nostalgia when you smell a specific scent, or hearing a song that reminds you of them at the exact moment you think of them. These aren't just random mental pings. These are synchronicities. Your subconscious is downloading the future. The universe is showing you the blueprint of what is coming before it physically manifests in the three-dimensional world. You might have even felt a sudden, unexplained wave of peace wash over you in the middle of a chaotic day. Sudden knowing that everything is going to be okay. That was them, that was their energy reaching out to comfort you, letting you know that the silence was about to break. Yet, despite these profound signs, part of you is still holding your breath. As a Scorpio, you feel everything in extremes. You don't just love. You consume and are consumed. You give your soul entirely. But this intense depth makes the waiting period agonizing. The pain of this journey has been the silent nights, the overanalyzing of every single word they've ever said to you, the feeling of being stuck in a limbo where nothing was moving forward. You've been carrying the emotional weight of this connection entirely on your own shoulders. You've been doing the silent work, the healing, the releasing, wondering if they even realize the depth of what you've been holding for them. So, even as your spirit knows this is real, your human mind is building fortress just in case. You are protecting your heart because the hope you feel right now is so massive, it terrifies you. You've been burned before. You've been promised the world and handed nothing but silence. You are afraid that if you let your guard down completely, the universe will play a cruel joke on you. But I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. The fortress you have built is no longer needed. The walls are coming down, not because you are weak, but because the energy of this connection is about to shatter them completely. Let us step out of your energy and directly into theirs, because to truly understand the magnitude of what is about to happen, you need to see what is happening behind their eyes right now. As you sit there listening to my voice, they are thinking about you. This is not a fleeting, passing thought that drifts through their mind while they are busy with their day. This is a consuming, all-encompassing focus. They are sitting in the quiet of their own space. And for the first time, they are allowing themselves to feel the absolute, terrifying depth of their love for you. The realization did not come to them as a gentle whisper. It hit them like a physical weight in the center of their chest. They finally looked at the empty space beside them and realized that no one else can ever fill it. This is where the emotional shift within them begins to turn. For so long, they tried to convince themselves that they could walk away, that they could keep things casual, or that they needed to protect their own peace. But that illusion has completely shattered. They are experiencing a profound, almost agonizing clarity. They realize that every attempt they made to distance themselves from you only pulled them closer. They are looking back at the last few months, maybe even the last year, and they are flooded with a heavy, beautiful regret. They regret the time they wasted being afraid. They regret the moments they pulled away when their soul was screaming at them to pull you closer. They are mourning the lost time. But this regret is not paralyzing them. It is acting as the ultimate catalyst. But here is where the energy shifts again, moving from their regret into a fierce protective determination. They are not just going to reach out to say hello. They are preparing to make a definitive move. They are looking at their own life, their own foundation, and they are actively clearing the space for you. They are realizing that they cannot move forward into their own future unless you are standing right there beside them. The fear of losing you has finally, completely eclipsed their fear of vulnerability. They are terrified, yes, but their love for you is so much louder than their fear. They are rehearsing what they want to say to you, trying to find the exact words that will make you understand how deeply they have changed, how deeply they see you, and how entirely you have captured their heart. However, before I reveal the exact nature of this move, and before I tell you the specific words that are going to leave you completely breathless, we need to pause. You need the context of their internal battle. Because if I just tell you they are coming back without explaining the war they just fought within themselves, you might not fully grasp the permanence of this shift. You need to understand why it took them this long. You need to know that their delay was never about your worth, and it was never about a lack of love. This is the crucial piece of the puzzle that your Scorpio intuition has been trying to solve. They had to face a massive internal block, shadow self that was telling them they weren't ready, or that they would somehow ruin the beautiful connection you share. They were dealing with their own unhealed wounds, their own fears of inadequacy, and the overwhelming pressure of matching the intense, profound energy that you bring into their life. They felt unworthy of the depth of love you offer. They had to go into the dark. They had to sit with their own insecurities, and they had to actively choose to heal those parts of themselves so they could show up for you the way you deserve. The silence you experienced was not them walking away, it was them doing the grueling, silent work required to become the partner you need them to be. Understanding this shifts your entire perspective, doesn't it? The pain of the waiting begins to dissolve into a deep, empathetic understanding. You realize that their hesitation was actually a twisted form of protection. They were trying to protect you from their own unhealed baggage, and they were trying to protect themselves from the overwhelming intensity of what you two share. But they have won that internal battle. They have looked their demons in the eye and chosen love. They have chosen you. Before we cross the threshold into the actual reveal of their move, and before we unlock the exact timing of this divine intervention, I want to pause and acknowledge the incredible energy holding this space right now. We are doing deep transformative work here, and it is so important that we anchor this energy together. If this reading is resonating with your spirit, if you feel that sudden click of recognition in your soul, I invite you to subscribe to Trusted Tarot. This is not just about growing channel. It is about building a sanctuary, a community of light workers and deep feelers who are navigating these intense spiritual awakenings together. By subscribing, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive, that you are committed to your own healing, and that you are open to the love that is rushing toward you. Claim this energy, lock it in, and let's continue this journey together. Now we arrive at the exact moment your soul has been waiting for in the silence. The veil lifts, and the truth steps into the light, revealing the precise nature of this move that is about to change everything. This person is not going to send a simple, casual message just to test the waters or see if you are still available. No. What is approaching is a deliberate confession, an opening of the heart so deep and vulnerable that it will leave you completely breathless. Imagine your phone vibrating at a moment when you least expect it, perhaps when you have finally decided to release the heavy weight of waiting for the day and have surrendered to the peace of the evening. You will see their name on the screen, and in that instant, time itself will seem to stop. But it will not be an empty hello or a trivial excuse to reach out. It will be a message charged with a sincerity they rarely show the rest of the world, text or a call that shatters years of evasive patterns. They are going to admit their silence. They are going to acknowledge, without any loopholes or selfish justifications, the pain they caused with their distance. They will not do this merely as a way to clear their own conscience, but as a genuine, profound surrender to the magnitude of their feelings for you. They will tell you that they have been fighting their own inner demons, that they have spent countless nights thinking of you, wondering how they could have been so blind to the absolute jewel they had right in front of them. This communication is a sacred invitation to cross a threshold. It is a firm, unwavering decision made in the quiet solitude of their own reflection, to leave behind the games, the doubts, and the fear, and to make way for an unshakable truth. They love you, and they have decided to fight for you with every fiber of their being. This is not a temporary return, nor is it an attempt to rekindle dying flame out of sheer loneliness. It is the beginning of an entirely new phase, one where the intentions are clear, transparent, and the commitment is real. The universe is actively aligning external circumstances so that this conversation is not just an exchange of words into the wind, but the solid foundation upon which you will build something lasting. They are prepared to offer the stability and the fierce loyalty that you, as a Scorpio, demand and deserve in the deepest core of your being. The energy of this encounter is infused with a definitive purpose, a promise that this time they have come to stay. But here is where I must ask for your absolute attention, because your Scorpio nature, that which is so deep, so intense, and so fiercely protective, could become your greatest obstacle in this crucial moment. When that message arrives, when you hear those words of apology and unconditional love, your immediate instinct might be to build a concrete wall around your heart. Your mind, trained by past pain, by previous disappointments, and by the emotional exhaustion of the weight, will want to put them to the test. It will want to look for the flaw, the hidden trap, the logical reason to protect your spirit from another potential fall. It is a survival mechanism that has kept you safe. But right now, it is preventing you from receiving the blessing that is knocking at your door. I warn you with all the love and light in the universe, do not let your old pain distort this new, pure message. This is a moment of extreme spiritual delicacy. If you react from a place of defensiveness, if you respond with coldness, with protective sarcasm, or with a hostile interrogation, you might cause them to retreat just as they are gathering all their courage to step toward you. This does not mean you should ignore your boundaries, play the victim, or allow behavior that disrespects you. It means you must learn to receive this gift with an open heart, not with closed fists. The vulnerability they are offering you is fragile. It needs a safe space to land, and you are that space. Before you respond, before you let your fingers type the very first word, breathe. Place your hand over your chest. Feel the beating of your own heart. That heart that has weathered storms and now beats with the hope of healing. Ask yourself in the silence, is this the answer I have been asking the universe for? The answer is resounding yes. Allow yourself to feel the profound validation that your intuition was correct all along. You do not need to punish them for the time it took them to arrive, because that time was absolutely necessary for both of you to reach this point of emotional maturity and spiritual clarity. The intensity of this moment requires you to be the anchor, the calm, secure, and magnetic presence that shows them it is safe to stay, that it is safe to be vulnerable with you. When you manage to respond from a place of calm rather than chaos, from certainty rather than fear, you activate a divine code within the relationship. You show them that your love is not a battlefield, but a sanctuary. And believe me, when they feel that peace radiating from you, there will be no force on earth that will make them walk away again. They are ready for the truth, and you are ready to receive it with the grace of someone who knows their own immense worth. Now you must ask yourself, with all the intensity and depth that characterizes your Scorpio soul, why now? Why, after weeks, months, or perhaps even years of agonizing uncertainty, does the universe decide that this precise moment in August is the definitive turning point? The answer does not lie in the linear logic of human calendars, nor in the excuses the logical mind tries to construct to protect itself from disappointment. The answer resides in the deep, perfect, and unshakable wisdom of divine timing. The universe does not rush, but it is never late. Everything that has happened up to this exact second, every moment of agonizing wait, every tear shed in the solitude of your room, and every moment of doubt that made you question your own sanity, has been part of an absolutely necessary energetic maturation process. Think of it this way: a seed does not become robust, resilient tree the day after it is planted. It requires time beneath the soil, in total darkness, where no one can see the silent, miraculous work happening within the roots. That silence that caused you so much pain, that absence you felt as a personal and devastating rejection, was not a void. It was a cosmic womb. It was the necessary gestation period for this person to face their own shadows, dismantle their emotional walls, and rebuild themselves from the foundation up. If they had come back to you before, with a half-healed heart and a mind full of unresolved conflicts, they would have ended up hurting you all over again. The universe, in its infinite compassion and overarching vision, delayed the physical encounter to guarantee spiritual permanence. The energies of this August are vibrating at a frequency of culmination and harvest. Everything that has been hidden beneath the surface is being dragged into the light without mercy or delay. Obsolete structures in their lives, ancestral fears, and the doubts that kept them paralyzed are collapsing under the weight of a truth that can no longer be ignored or repressed. This divine window has opened because both of you have finally reached the exact same vibrational level. You have done your work. You have cried, you have let go, you have learned to value yourself in your highest expression. You have raised your standards in a non-negotiable way, and they, driven by the overwhelming absence of your light, have been forced to make the same internal journey. Now, your paths are not just crossing, they are fusing with a renewed karmic purpose and a clarity that was previously impossible. And I know, with a certainty that pierces through time and space, that reaching this point of surrender and openness has not been easy for you. I want to speak directly to that exhaustion you carry in your bones. It is not an ordinary tiredness, the kind that is cured with a good night's sleep or a weekend of distractions. It is a soul-deep fatigue. It is the immense weight of having held the energy of this connection entirely on your own for so long. It is the exhaustion of having loved with a fierce intensity, of having given without guarantees, of having kept the faith when everything around you, including sometimes your own thoughts, seemed to scream at you to give up and forget. I am speaking to that part of you that has spent entire nights staring at the ceiling, with a tight chest and a closed throat, wondering if you were crazy for still feeling something so strong for someone who seemed so distant or indifferent. I am speaking to that version of you who has analyzed every single word, every silence, every glance, desperately searching for a sign that you weren't imagining the chemistry, that the bond was just as real and profound for them as it was for you. I know you have carried the confusion of their mixed signals, the pain of their 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. I know you have felt the deepest kind of loneliness even when you were surrounded by people, because no one else could understand the magnitude of what you felt for this person, and no one else could validate the reality of your experience. But I want you to listen to this and let it sink into every single cell of your body, into every corner of your being. You are not crazy. Your intuition never lied to you. Everything you felt, every hunch, every tear, every moment of longing was absolutely real. It was the confirmation that your soul recognized theirs, and that kind of recognition is not invented, not exaggerated, and it does not fade with time. Your pain was not in vain. It was not a punishment from destiny. It was the alchemical fire necessary to purify this connection, to burn away everything that was superficial, insecure, or temporary, and to leave behind only the pure gold of a love that is destined to endure and to transform you. I want you to right now, as you listen to my voice, allow yourself to feel an energetic embrace. Imagine a warm, golden, and protective light wrapping around your shoulders, gently flowing down your spine, and hugging your heart with infinite tenderness. You are safe. You no longer have to fight alone in this emotional trench. You no longer have to guess, you no longer have to beg for crumbs of attention, and you no longer have to prove your worth to anyone. Your value is undeniable, it is absolute, and it is eternal. This person has finally understood that, and the universe is conspiring in your favor to deliver the peace and certainty you have sought for so long. Allow yourself to cry if you need to, but let them be tears of liberation, not of despair. Allow yourself to release the weight of having to be strong, invulnerable, and self-sufficient all the time. In this sacred space, you can be vulnerable. You can admit that you were scared, that you were tired, that you longed for this moment with every fiber of your being. And by admitting it, you strip the fear of its power. By acknowledging your own humanity, you align yourself with the divine grace that is about to pour into your life. The worst is over. The storm has fulfilled its purpose of clearing the ground, and now, finally, the sun is coming out to illuminate what is coming next. And this is where the magic of this reading expands far beyond what your logical mind can currently anticipate. Because when a soul connection aligns correctly, it doesn't just heal your heart, it acts as the master key that unlocks the entirety of your life path. Scorpio, you need to understand something fundamental about the energy you are about to receive. This love, this profound commitment that is rushing toward you, is not coming to distract you from your purpose. It is coming to be the very fuel that accelerates it. For so long, you have felt this heavy, stagnant energy in other areas of your life. You might have noticed a strange mental fog surrounding your career, feeling of running on a treadmill without actually moving forward, or an inexplicable resistance in your finances that simply made no logical sense. You worked harder. You pushed longer, but the results were always just out of reach. I need you to hear this clearly, that stagnation was not a punishment. It was the universe fiercely protecting your energy. It was the cosmos ensuring that you did not scatter your immense power into material pursuits, while your heart was busy holding up the weight of an unresolved, emotionally draining connection. You cannot build a skyscraper on a fractured foundation, and the universe knew that your foundation needed to be secured in love before it could support the massive abundance that is trying to reach you. But now, as the tide turns, as this person makes their definitive move and the emotional blockage is clear, you are going to experience a sudden, almost violent unblocking in your material reality. That mental fog is going to lift overnight. Ideas that have been swirling around in your subconscious for months will suddenly crystallize into brilliant, actionable strategies. You will find yourself walking into your workplace or your creative space with a completely different aura, an authority that commands respect without you having to say a single word. Opportunities that were previously closed off will suddenly swing wide open. A delayed payment will clear, new client will reach out, or a sudden shift in your career path will present itself with perfect timing. This is not a coincidence. This is the direct result of your energetic frequency shifting from a state of lack and wading into a state of absolute reception and worthiness. But here is where we must pivot. Because as this massive wave of romantic and material blessing approaches, your nervous system is going to face its ultimate test. When you have been in survival mode for as long as you have, your brain becomes addicted to the cortisol, to the hypervigilance, to the constant scanning for threats. So, when peace finally arrives, when the love is secure and the money starts flowing, very specific, very quiet panic will try to set inches. You will look around at this beautiful new reality, and a small, terrified voice in the back of your mind will whisper, "When is the other shoe going to drop? What did I do to deserve this? How long until they take it all away?" This is the shadow of the Scorpio journey. Your depth allows you to love profoundly, but it also makes you intimately acquainted with pains because you know the depths of sorrow. Your mind tries to preemptively brace for it. You might find yourself unconsciously trying to sabotage this new happiness. You might pick a small argument with them just to prove that things aren't too perfect. You might hesitate on a financial opportunity because success feels unfamiliar and therefore unsafe. I am calling out this behavior right now so that you can catch it in the act. Do not let your trauma brain ruin the blessing that your spirit has prayed for. You have to consciously choose to let your guard down. I know it feels terrifying. I know that keeping your armor on feels like the only way to guarantee you won't be hurt again. But the armor that protected you in the past is now the very thing keeping the love and abundance out. When they come to you with their confession, when they lay their heart bare, you must resist the urge to test them. You must resist the urge to push them away just to see if they will fight for you. They are already fighting for you. The battle is already won. Your only job now is to stand in the victory and let it wash over you. Your spiritual guides are shifting their messages to you right now. For months, their guidance has been about endurance, about holding the line, about trusting the unseen. But now, the guidance is shifting toward expansion. You're going to start receiving downloads of inspiration in the shower, in the car, right before you fall asleep. You will feel a sudden, ringing sensation in your ears, not a physical tinnitus, but an energetic download of your next life phase. You are transitioning from the survivor archetype into the creator archetype. You are no longer just navigating the storms, you are learning to command the wind. Feel the profound relief of that transition. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Take a deep, expansive breath into your belly and let it out with a sigh. You are allowed to be happy. You are allowed to be successful. You are allowed to have the love that feels easy, secure, and deeply passionate all at once. You do not have to bleed for your blessings anymore. The era of paying for your happiness with your peace is officially over. The universe is handing you this gift, not because you suffered enough to earn it, but because you are finally ready to hold it. As you integrate this new reality, you will notice that your relationship with this person becomes a sacred mirror. Because they have done their own shadow work, they will reflect your light back to you. When you feel insecure, they will not run, they will anchor you. When you feel expansive, they will celebrate you. This is the divine partnership you were always meant to have. It is a union of two whole, healed individuals who choose each other every single day, not out of necessity, but out of a deep magnetic and undeniable desire. So, as we move into the final moments of this reading, I want you to anchor this truth into your physical body. The waiting is over. The silence is broken. The love is real, the commitment is solid, and the abundance is flowing. You are stepping into the highest timeline of your life, and everything you ever desired is finally aligning with your spirit. Scorpio, I need you to listen to me very closely right now, because we are at the absolute threshold of your breakthrough, and I need to speak directly to the deepest, most guarded part of your heart. I know how tired you are. I know the specific, bone-deep exhaustion that comes from loving with your entire soul and feeling like you have to constantly justify the intensity of your feelings. You have spent so much of your life being told, either directly or indirectly, that you feel too much, that you love too hard, that your depth is intimidating, that your need for absolute truth is too demanding, and that your fierce loyalty is a burden to those who only want to offer you something casual. You have been made to feel like your greatest gift is actually your biggest flaw, and because of that, you have shrunk yourself. You have dimmed your own light, watered down your own emotions, and tried to make yourself more palatable for people who were never meant to understand the magnitude of your spirit. But I need you to hear this, and I need you to let it heal the part of you that still believes you're too much. You are not too much. You are exactly enough. Your intensity is not a flaw, it is a superpower. It is the very thing that makes you capable of experiencing love in a way that most people will only ever read about in poetry. And this person, the one who is finally stepping up, the one who is about to make this monumental move, does not want a watered-down version of you. They do not want the polite, guarded, surface-level stranger you pretended to be when you were trying to protect your heart. They want the raw, unfiltered, fiercely loyal, deeply passionate Scorpio that you truly are. They are craving your depth. They are starving for the kind of connection that you offer. And they finally realize that they have been wandering in the shallow end of the pool while you were waiting for them in the ocean. This is the healing you have been waiting for. This is the validation of every tear you shed, every night you spent questioning your own worth, and every moment you felt unseen. You are about to be seen in a way that will completely rewire your nervous system. You are about to be loved not just for your light, but for your shadows, your complexities, your fears, and your fierce, unyielding heart. The era of having to convince someone to stay is officially over. The era of having to beg for bare minimum effort is done. You are stepping into a season where you are simply chosen, fiercely protected, and deeply revered. Before you go, before you click away or return to the noise and chaos of your daily life, we need to seal this energy. We need to anchor this massive spiritual shift into your physical body, because if you do not ground this energy, it will just float away as a beautiful concept. I want you to do something for me right now. Wherever you are, I want you to pause. If you're driving, just listen to my voice. If you're sitting or lying down, I want you to place your right hand directly over your heart center. Feel the warmth of your palm against your chest. Feel the steady, rhythmic beating of your own heart beneath your hand. That heartbeat is the rhythm of the universe, and it is telling you that you are safe, that you are alive, and that you are deeply loved. Now, I want you to take a deep, slow breath in through your nose, drawing the energy of this reading down from your mind, through your throat, and straight into your heart. Hold it for a second. And now, exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing all the tension, all the doubt, all the old stories of unworthiness that you have been carrying. As you exhale, I want you to silently repeat this affirmation in your mind and let every word sink into your cellular memory. I release the need to struggle for love. I am worthy of a devotion that is easy, clear, and absolute. I am ready to receive the blessing that is rushing toward me. Say it again in your mind. I release the need to struggle. I am ready to receive. Feel the truth of those words. Feel the physical shift in your chest as the armor finally begins to crack and fall away. You are open. You are ready. You are a magnet for this love. Now, we must lock this intention into the collective field. If this message found you at the exact right moment, if your spirit felt that undeniable click of recognition while listening to my voice, I need you to take one specific action right now. Go down to the comments and type the word, receive. Do not just think it, physically type it. By typing that word, you are making a physical declaration to the universe that you are no longer resisting. You are no longer hiding, and you are fully open to accepting this love, this commitment, and this abundance. Claim this energy out loud in the digital realm, and if you want to continue receiving these profound, life-changing guidance sessions, make sure you subscribe to Trusted Tarot. We are building a sanctuary here, a community of deep feelers and light workers who are navigating these intense spiritual awakenings together. By subscribing, you are keeping your energy tethered to this frequency of love and clarity. Share this reading with someone who needs to hear it, or simply share it to your own story to signal to the universe that you are ready for your miracle. Thank you for trusting me with your energy today, Scorpio. Take a deep breath, keep your heart open, and watch how quickly the universe delivers on this promise. The wait is over. Your love story is just beginning. I will see you in the next reading.